For centuries, our minds have conjured images of ancient Greece as a world of pristine white marble, stoic, serene, and monochromatic. From the majestic Parthenon to the iconic sculptures of gods and heroes, we've been taught to revere their pale, unblemished surfaces as the epitome of classical beauty. But what if this vision, so deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness, is nothing more than a magnificent illusion? Prepare to journey back in time, not to a world of sterile white, but to an ancient Greece that exploded with a riot of vibrant, audacious color. The truth, long hidden beneath layers of history and misconception, is far more dazzling than you could ever imagine. Our modern perception of ancient Greek statues as stark white marble owes much to the Renaissance and Enlightenment. When these ancient masterpieces were rediscovered, their original vibrant paint had long since faded or chipped away, leaving behind the bare stone. Scholars and artists of the era, deeply influenced by emerging ideals of purity and rationality, interpreted this bleached state as the intended aesthetic. They saw minimalist perfection in the unadorned marble, unwittingly cementing a profound misconception that would echo through art history for centuries. Despite the prevailing belief in white statues, faint whispers of color persisted. Early archaeologists occasionally noted minuscule traces of paint, often dismissed as accidental stains or later additions. Yet, these almost imperceptible remnants, a fleck of red here, a hint of blue there, were the first quiet protests against the monochromatic narrative. They suggested a radical departure from the austere aesthetic we had come to accept, hinting at a forgotten vibrancy that lay just beneath the surface, waiting for the right eyes and tools to truly see it. The enduring myth of white Greek statues wasn't accidental. It was actively propagated. The influential art historian Johann Joachim Winckelmann, in the 18th century, championed white marble as the pinnacle of classical beauty and purity, devoid of vulgar color. His powerful aesthetic vision, coinciding with major excavations, shaped centuries of artistic taste. New sculptures, inspired by these clean, ancient finds, were intentionally left unpainted. This intellectual trend, coupled with the natural degradation of organic pigments over millennia, effectively erased a colorful chapter of history from our collective memory. Far from being limited, the ancient Greek artists utilized a surprisingly rich palette derived from natural sources. Vibrant reds came from cinnabar and ochre, brilliant blues from azurite and Egyptian blue, an early synthetic pigment. Greens were sourced from malachite, yellows from orpiment, and deep purples from costly murex shells. These are not subtle washes, but bold, opaque hues. Imagine the vivid contrasts. Azure cloaks, crimson lips, golden hair, all painted with meticulous detail, transforming cold stone into lifelike, captivating figures that dominated their surroundings. The application of color was not merely decorative. It was fundamental to the meaning and function of Greek sculpture. Paint brought statues to life, making gods appear more divine, heroes more valiant, and mortals more realistic. Eyes, lips, hair, and clothing were meticulously rendered to convey emotion, status, and narrative detail. In a world without photography, color was crucial for identifying deities and distinguishing characters, transforming mute stone into powerful, communicative presences that served both religious devotion and civic pride. It was realism, storytelling, and reverence, all woven into a vibrant tapestry. Ancient Greek artisans were masters of polychromy, employing sophisticated techniques. The most common method was encaustic painting, where pigments were mixed with heated beeswax, then applied to the marble. This allowed for rich, durable colors and subtle gradations, achieving a luminous, almost enamel-like finish. Tempera, using egg yolk as a binder, was also common. Details like patterns on clothing, elaborate jewelry, and even pupils within eyes were added with incredible precision, turning the stone into a canvas for intricate artistry that made the figures leap forth with an astonishing vitality. Perhaps the most compelling evidence comes from the Acropolis itself. The Peplos Kore, a maiden statue from around 530 BC, famously revealed extensive traces of her original paintwork, a striking red garment, blue details, and intricate patterns. Even the majestic Parthenon frieze, once thought to be unadorned, bore subtle hints of color that enhanced its narrative power. These discoveries, among countless others, transformed our understanding of these iconic works, revealing them not as minimalist masterpieces, but as dynamic, intensely vibrant sculptures, deeply embedded in the colorful tapestry of ancient Greek life. Modern science has become our most powerful ally in resurrecting these lost colors. Techniques like UV light analysis reveal faint remnants invisible to the naked eye. Multispectral imaging, X-ray fluorescence, and raking light illuminate microscopic pigments and tool marks, allowing researchers to piece together the original color schemes. Pigment analysis identifies the exact materials used, dating them to antiquity. These non-invasive methods have revolutionized our understanding, offering irrefutable proof that the ancient world was not a monochrome dream, but a brilliantly painted reality, painstakingly reconstructed pixel by pixel. Imagine now, not austere white temples, but structures adorned with painted friezes depicting mythological battles and heroic sagas in vivid hues. Statues of gods and goddesses would have stared out with painted eyes, their garments ablaze with patterns and gold leaf, their skin tones realistically rendered. The very landscape of ancient Greece, particularly its sacred sites, would have been a breathtaking explosion of color, creating an immersive, almost hyper-real experience for its inhabitants. This wasn't merely decoration. It was an intrinsic part of how the ancient Greeks perceived beauty, power, and divinity. For many, confronting the true polychromy of ancient Greek statues is deeply unsettling. We've been conditioned to associate white marble with timeless elegance, purity, and intellectual grandeur. The idea of garish, brightly painted figures can feel, well, a bit gaudy, even primitive to modern sensibilities. This aesthetic shock reveals more about our own cultural biases than it does about ancient Greek art. It challenges our preconceived notions of classical beauty, forcing us to reconcile a cherished ideal with a dazzling and sometimes jarring historical reality. Accepting the polychromy of Greek statues isn't about replacing one image with another. It's about enriching our understanding. It reveals a more human, visceral, and perhaps even more profound ancient world. It challenges us to broaden our definition of beauty, recognizing that different cultures and eras express aesthetics in profoundly different ways. The ancient Greeks didn't see color as vulgar. They saw it as essential for life, for connection to the divine, for storytelling. This truth invites us to shed our modern biases and appreciate their art not through our lens, but through theirs in all its glorious, vibrant splendor. The story of ancient Greek polychromy is more than just an art history footnote. It's a powerful reminder of how easily history can be misinterpreted and how deeply our present biases can shape our past. It teaches us to question assumptions, to look beyond the surface, and to embrace the complexities of diverse cultures. The vibrant colors of ancient Greece, once lost, now stand resurrected, not merely as an archaeological curiosity, but as a testament to human creativity and a profound challenge to our own perceptions of beauty. The ancient world, it turns out, was never dull. It was dazzling. From the quiet whispers of pigment to the dazzling vibrancy of scientific reconstruction, our journey through ancient Greece has shattered a centuries-old illusion. The white marble masterpieces we once revered were, in their prime, an explosion of bold hues, telling stories and invoking divinity with every painted stroke. This revelation isn't just about art. It's about reevaluating history, challenging our own aesthetic comfort zones, and understanding that beauty, like truth, can take many forms. The ancient Greeks did not fear color. They embraced it as a fundamental aspect of life, art, and worship. And now, thanks to perseverance and science, we too can finally see their world in its true, glorious light.